I had a memory. I was in the kitchen. It was a memory. My thoughts of I was trying to black out some things. At these. I was doing something, and honestly, people just like voice. Subtle communication, but it was a memory on Route 22 East, and we were coming back. It was miles and miles. Anywhere in New Jersey, there's a lot of lights. It takes a long time if you hit Route 22, and we were going east to Union. It was like one of our last stops. It was me and Janek. Uh, Anyway, Janek, by the way, he got teased actually. Teased, picked on. A lot of times, kind of embarrassed by his someone friend. His name was Stashik. Before me and Janek started driving, and I heard of it. I saw it a couple times, and actually, I kind of stood up for Janek. I gotta say that, because Stashik would say, we're going on a long trip. You want to go to You gotta go to the bathroom before we go in the truck. And I was just first I heard it, I was like, all right. But then people let me know he just does that like almost every time, and I don't know if Yannick had a bladder problem, this and the other thing. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. And we're driving, and Yannick says, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I ain't going to Union. All right, tell you what, I don't think there's any gas stations here. I'll try to stop somewhere. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And I think I asked him like once or twice, and he got really agitated, but, I wrote it down, and I said like his hatred. Because he had this hatred to him. He was almost two-faced, actually, a lot of times. But individuals would remind me it's ego-driven, and it is. It's pride, I would say. You know, Yannick showed his pride a lot of times, and another example. I was just thinking, what if I was ego-driven and I had pride from the first day I worked there at Amtech, and I just stood my ground. I got in people's faces, and it's like you could pick it up actually. The thing is, there's a lot of problems in the world because people's ego and their pride gets involved, and a lot of times it's really not an issue. You know what happens is, and I know it's especially with Yannick. There was another incident where he didn't do so. I was a driver, he was a helper, and he would just as an example, he would go to a store. It was one store we needed to go in there and help, and I just it was a thing I told him, and maybe I was wrong. I was like, if you want to stand on a truck over here, I'll go there and I'll put the stuff, because the person, she made him wait when she had a customer or something like that. So he got agitated. Also, he was like, I just don't want to stand there and do nothing. And I get it. And I actually we got a confrontation, and then I was just actually kind of surprised. Actually, yeah, he kind of went behind my back, I believe, or something like that. But that's neither here nor there. It was a couple confrontations, and it wasn't on big ones. But I got called. Well, this guy, mentally, he said in the kitchen, he said to me like, oh, what an a-hole. Why didn't you just let that guy be? Why didn't he just let that guy be? And it was about me actually. Like I was an a-hole about tell if he wants to go to the bathroom. See, I wasn't teasing him, getting him aggravated. And later, I think I said, I get it if it's like, I ask you too many times, and like, even worse, it's probably, got him more pissed off or something. But remember, we pulled up to the store reunion, and he went to like one of those woods and stuff like that behind the truck, and I urinated there, this and that thing, you know? But it wasn't anything great. That's one of the first time I actually saw Yannick how he really is. He was so angry, and he showed it on his face actually. And one of those things, and someone called that person that called me an a-hole because I'm an a-hole. Why don't I just let that guy be? I mean, wow, did I really try to rile him up? Was I taunting him there? Was I was harassing him? In your mind, and another male just said, I don't know who you are. So well, that guy's a hoe. Because I was trying to rationalize. Does that person know me, the situation? And he's like, calling me that in a certain way, kind of defending Yannick there. But, I mean, I guess, so someone said, well, that's, his ego's like that too. And hypothetically, I was thinking, well, if I had, if I developed, over inflated pride, and I just, harassed you, stepped on you, or just made you feel inferior, then you would actually show me respect, right? But if I show you respect out of kindness and decency, you dismiss it. Also in front of other people. A lot of people put on a front. People act fraudulent actually, because it's their pride that they can't be like this. Yannick it's another example, and I just couldn't believe it. And it's like, what I have to fucking do? Act out, like get angry at somebody, like, you know, like to put somebody down. Actually, he did something else. Like, you know, we were had this. It's another example. So it just, you know, people act different because the boss is here. And all of a sudden, you know, they don't respect you. Like, they'll get in line when you know, you have to do something, and they just, you know, all right, what, like that. But back, he wouldn't do that. Janek would never do that. You know, there's other people around, and it's like they want to show, like, you know, they got power over you, or like, you know, you're not gonna say anything. They want to push you around. But in reality, like, you know, Janek was really not that tough. Uh, I could really just fucking break him down with a couple words. Even like, you know, he would start, you know, throw some insults, but it was just like, really? Tell me to go fuck myself. Like, all right, there, guy. All right, the little shorty, you know? And as far as, you know, if that person is a hoe, that called me an a-hole, because I was just fucking wanting to let Janek be over there, you know? Janek wasn't somewhat degenerate, sexual deviant. He was much more, he was like a perverter, especially to like young girls. He was disgusting in a way, you know? So maybe they have that in common. And besides their, you know, their pride or something like that.